This is the part that I'm sure everyone's been waiting for, me included. It's building the actual CX, or putting it back together, I should say. So as a lot of you have probably seen, building a motorbike doesn't really mean putting things back together. It means stripping it down, cleaning parts, cutting pieces off, painting pieces, all that. But this has to be said, it's probably the most exciting part of any build. If you watched last week's video, then you'll have seen everything laid out on the floor, one big piece, one big giant Lego jigsaw piece, and it's just figuring out what goes where, or trying to remember what goes where. So I mean, it's going back to April, I think. Was it April or even March? I think it might have been March when I first stripped the bike down. So coming back all those months and slowly going over in my mind what goes where, bit by bit, piece by piece. I need new braided brake hoses, new water pipes, red silicone water pipes, headlights, indicators, levers, all sorts, clip-on bars. So those are all things I'm going to be putting on over the next few weeks. I've decided I'm just going to put my head down, buy all these bits in, and then just plow through it, get it done as quickly as possible. The GS is still being worked on at the same time as this, so I'm not going to forget about that. And before I forget to mention it as well, if you haven't seen these new t-shirts, then they are out to buy now in all sorts of shapes, colours and sizes and styles. You probably know by now I like my V's, so this is a V-neck. But there are round necks available. They are all on the website at featherbollindustries.com. So go on there, see if you like anything, and you can support the channel by wearing one of these. So all that said and done, let's get down to building the CX at long last.
And here it is. So this is where I'm going to leave it tonight, pretty much. I spent a few days putting it back together. Of course there are going to be bits that I need to sort out. So the rear shocks don't have the correct screws or bolts in at the moment. I've just put temporary bolts that I can find just to sort of put it back together. I need rubber bushes, I need all sorts to make that secure at the back. So just got that lovely bit of accent colour, that frame just coming down, hugging the engine. Of course it's sort of a suspended engine. It's not one of those frames that go all the way around like GS is. So having the red frame just poking out there, and then the black engine and the red part of the frame behind just holding the engine actually emphasises the fact that the engine is suspended pretty much. The seat, I need to finish that off. Of course I just need to go around it with a staple gun, make sure it's neat. Of course that's then going to pull down on the frame, so it's going to hug the frame a lot neater than what it is now, and it's going to come in slightly from the back, so it's not going to poke over. So it's going to stick out the same amount as the red hoop at the back, which looks absolutely lovely. The front, ignore the front forks at the moment. I've taken spaces out of those for the time being. The yoke at the top obviously hasn't been put in. At the moment it's going to have clip-on bars, so it looks a bit strange at the moment. Of course it's missing the front mudguard, the front fender, that looks a bit strange as well. Missing the exhaust. But anyway, this is it to show you what it looks like at the time being, and it looks really nice. Oh, of course, radiator. The radiator is going to go at the front, so of course that's going to be another bit sort of seal up that void there, so it's not going to be so much of a gap between the front wheel and the engine itself. I'm really happy with that. Oh, this back bit here. So you can see that I've deliberately gone for the black swing arm to make the frame stand out more, to make this sort of curve here, and that's what I like about the CX frame, was this curve here, which is why I didn't want to go for the monoshock. I wanted to keep that there, and then the black swing arm kind of makes the wheel at the back disappear. So all you're seeing is that frame at the back. But that satin finish on the back wheel and the swing arm is lovely as well, and the shocks. Of course the shocks are another thing that makes the rear end disappear, but once you look at it, it is lovely.
Right, so that is me done now. I'm calling it quits, I'm calling it a night. Filthy black, and I hadn't actually set off to work on the bike tonight, but the bike is back together at last, and it's not going to be disassembled again. That is the last time I'm putting it back together. Of course, there are going to be a few bolts and things that I've obviously not put on at the moment. There's different things such as the brake lever, the brake pedal, but it's great to see how it all comes together, and that engine looks so nice. Oh my god, this bike is really, really nice. So next week, I'm probably going to go back onto the GS. We've sorted out the misfiring cylinder, tune it up a little bit more, and it's sounding a little bit better, so that will be next week's video. Also, I'm going to be going back to 2 videos a week for these next couple of weeks. I've got enough content to make enough videos at last. If you like what you see, subscribe, give me a like, and follow me on Instagram as always. I'm so looking forward to working on this bike a little bit more now. But anyway, I need to go inside, have a shower, go to bed, and so that's it. I will say good night from here. See you next week.